Zillow messed up. That Zestimate didn't really zest your life at all, did it? What's up, guys? Omar here, broker and CEO of Alden Mortgage and OMA Realty. So in this video, I am not going to sugarcoat it. I am not going to just, think. I do not like Zillow. I do not like what they do. I don't like the way that they have their business practices, but that's just my personal opinion. And opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, and I'm here to go ahead and tell you I hate it. Their Zestimate is completely wrong. They can't, what I don't understand, okay? I don't get how anybody does business with a company. So this is what Zillow essentially started out as, okay? They started out great. I loved it. It was amazing. You go ahead, they have an IDX website, which is an internet exchange website, which just means that they connect your license with your MLS, and then from that MLS, populates all the listings onto their website so you could go ahead and do your searches, right? So what they did is, real estate agents and real estate agents in a lot of places don't make much. Here's a statistic that I will give you. 10% of all 10% of real estate agents licensed do 90% of all transactions in the United States. 10% of the transactions that aren't done, so it's like 10% of real estate agents do 90% of the work. So it's a 90-10 rule on both sides. 90% of the transactions are done by only 10% of real estate licensed agents, brokers. Yeah, let that sink in for a second. So what in essence is Zillow, what they did is they go ahead and they use their platform to go ahead and do marketing on your behalf. So what they do on your behalf is they'll go ahead and click on a property, and let's say you do not have an agent that's representing you. They'll go ahead and say, would you need assistance? And then they'll go ahead and sell that lead off to the person who has that zip code in that area that they're trying to farm. Now, what is farming? Farming just means an area that a real estate agent or a broker or whoever it is or a company, that geolocation that they're trying to advertise very heavily in because they want to go ahead and just dominate that specific market, right? So they get to buy that zip code. And for buying that zip code, that means that every single lead that comes through their website will go ahead and get transferred to that one agent because they're paying a lot of money. Some people are paying like $10,000, $15,000 a month because they want that specific location. Pretty good. I'm totally with it. I'm with you. It's a great thing. Not until you get into the same business of what you're trying to sell. And that's what they did. So instead, what they did is we're going to go ahead and start selling real estate too. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and open up our brokerage. We're going to go ahead and start buying homes. We're going to start selling homes. We're going to start, listing homes. We're going to go ahead and be the all-encompassing Zillow, which in my world, morally and ethically is it's messed up. It's wrong. I don't understand. Cut all ties with Zillow. No Zillow at all. So now that I said my piece and why I dislike them a lot, now we're going to go into the second part of it. So they had this program called Zillow Offers. So what they essentially did is they went ahead and started buying up a bunch of properties, okay? And right now we are in February 2000. Are we in February still? Yeah, we're in February 2020. Yeah, February 2022. Okay, so we're in February 2022, and in February 22, I just looked because we're in a contract up in a few contracts, one in the Bay Area and one down in San Diego. Zillow is like they're just trying to dump off everything, and every one of them. I take it back because I didn't research every single one of them that they're trying to dump. But the ones that I looked at, they're all losers. Like the one that we have in the Bay Area, purchased for $705,000. We're in contract for $680,000. That's a $25,000 loss. And that's in one property. And in that one county up in the Bay Area, they have, I think, somewhere between 1,200 and 1,300 total homes that they're trying to sell. So if that one is a loser, and that's the one we're currently in contract with, I mean, how many more? So their algorithm, right? Because everybody knows that when you go into the Zillow website and you go to the Zestimate is like a laughable joke. It is just the dumbest thing in the world. I don't know who made that Zestimate thing up. Like, I have people all the time, they're like, well, Zestimate said this and Zestimate says that, and Zestimate could go Zestimates could go into the garbage, for all I care. Zestimate is the worst thing in the world, especially when you actually have an appraisal done, or if you actually have a program that does specifically that. Like, go to your lender. We do it all the time. We don't have Zestimates. We actually have real programs that really know how much your property is worth. Whatever. So people will come up to us and say, yeah, Zestimate says my house is worth $700,000, and then appraisal comes in $150,000 less than that. Like, why would your house be worth $150,000 more than the next comp? So if we took the last 5 or 10 comps, what makes you think that your house is worth? What, because the program says that it is? Forget about it. So they had this offer program that they went ahead and they started buying. And what they had to do is they had to hold it long enough to go ahead and not violate what's called the 90-day flip rule, right? So there's this rule that's called the 90-day flip rule where you have to hold it, and then after you hold it for 90 days, then you can go ahead and sell it, which then opens up programs like your FHA and a few conventional programs that you might go ahead and jump into. Or there's a lot of programs that go ahead and have this flip rule entwined with it. It's one of the guidelines that we have to follow. So this program was actually stopped in the third quarter of 2021. Now, in 2021, in the third quarter, they actually reported a loss of $330 million. $330 million loss. Honestly, I didn't even know Zillow had that much money. I am so shocked that they have that much liquidity, and I blown away in that respect, right? You got to give Zillow its respect. That's pretty awesome that you guys have that much money and that much cash flow that you could go ahead and. So that means that the homes that they bought, they went ahead and sold, and they still took a $300+ million loss. Insane. So the gist of the whole entire program was exactly that. What they were doing is they were going to go ahead and buy a bunch of properties and just act like as an investor on those properties, right? They were going to go ahead and buy it, then they were going to go ahead and repair it, and then they were going to go ahead and resell it back into the market. And they were just trying to do as much as they possibly could do. They got a little too eager. They got a little bit too happy with it. They just went a little bit overboard with it. And now they were like, and this was in 2018 when the program just first started. In 2018 when they kicked this off. Now, in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, they didn't realize, and let's just face it, nobody in their right mind would have realized that this damn coronavirus thing would have done so much. Well, what happened is what all of you guys already know is that we have a big problem with getting materials and getting contractors to do a lot of work because a lot of them are so busy that they're not trying to deal with 1,100 homes in any county. So if you're like, hey, I want you to do work, well, there's just not enough of them. Where did all this come from? There's just not enough people to go ahead and do the work that we need to do, especially in labor-intensive jobs where it comes into the construction side of it. There's just nothing. And then the people that are in the side of doing the construction business, well, you want us to do the work? Well, we're going to go ahead and double our rate. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and double our rate, and rightly so. They have to because people are not coming to work. So they have to go ahead and pay them extra to get onto the job site, do the work. Then you have the cost of the material that just stupidly went completely crazy up. And now they're in the position where A, they bought these houses, B, they can't find people to fix them, and now C, those same houses that they thought that they would have a good upside on, they ended up not having the best upside on it. Now they're kind of in like a crappy position. So they have to dump it and go from there. So how many homes really were they trying to sell off? Rough numbers right now, well, as far as the third quarter of last year until January, is roughly about 7,000 homes that they were trying to dump. I really speculate that it's quite more, but as far as the little bit of research, now don't take like the exact words that I said, it's 7,000 and go run and yell at and tell on me to Zillow, which kind of I'm telling on myself if I put this video up. Whatever. But 7,000 homes is what they're kind of saying that they're trying to go ahead and dump off. So what happened shortly after all of this got said and done? Well, they started selling 7,000 homes. Oh, and another thing that they did is they laid off a quarter of their staff because this is how much of effect that this whole entire thing had to them, right? They lost, they had to let go a quarter of their staff. Well, at least it wasn't like those Better.com guys where the guy laid off 900 people on a Zoom call. It's crazy. Their shares dropped, like I think it was like between 55 and 65%, just like just down the drain. And that's where we're at with Zillow, and that's why Zillow right now is not doing too hot. They're not doing too good because now all of a sudden, now they also, what happened is they lost a lot of credibility with seasoned realtors, seasoned real estate agents, seasoned brokers. Now, do the people still do a lot of work with them? Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people do it. I refuse to. I will not do it. But there are people out there that go ahead and still do it. Still hanging on to that Zestimate for some odd reason or whatever it is that they're thinking. But Zillow in hot water. Well, for up to 50% commission rebate for any mortgaging assistance and for 0% listing fee on selling your next home, selling your home, not your next home, or you could do your next home too. Link in the description below. And if you did like this content or you hated it or whatever it was, just go ahead, like, subscribe, comment, do all that other stuff, all right down below. Thank you for watching. Till next video, guys. Thank you.